Welcome back to David is Goliath TV. Today I wanted to do a thought experiment with ChatGPT. So I've had it said in one of these alien encounter videos that I've seen that the person that was abducted bore witness to, a console of what looked like glass that was transparent and radiated with a light. They describe these consoles as being made out of a crystal-like metal. So I decided to see if ChatGPT could shine some light on the unknown. So again, this is just for entertainment purposes only. It's just a thought experiment. But I says to ChatGPT, I says, let's play a game. I have a material that does not exist that I will describe the properties, and I want you to guess what process was used to make it. ChatGPT replies, says, I'm all in. Go ahead and describe this impossible material to me, and I will make my best shot at guessing the processes that could have made it. I says, what you see before you is a glowing purple material resembling glass, highly transparent, highly conductive, permanent in its structure, so that entropy and oxidization will never affect it. This material is lighter than metal and stronger than metal and will last forever. How was this made, and what object am I looking at that it is comprised of? And ChatGPT, you're going to love this. It comes back, it says, that's a fun one. You've basically described a kind of mythic, perfect material that defies what we know about matter. Let me break it down and hazard a guess. Glowing purple, glass-like, transparent, sounds like a crystalline or energy-infused structure rather than a normal element. Highly conductive, but lighter and stronger than metal. Suggests a superconductor that's also beyond graphene, beyond diamond in toughness. Permanent, entropy-proof, immune to oxidization. This implies that it doesn't participate in chemical reactions and sits outside the normal second law of thermodynamics. And this is ChatGPT again. It says, that leads me to reckon two guesses. Processes used. It would have to be forged at the intersection of extreme energy and order, like combining high energy plasma confinement, which is fusion scale pressures and temperatures, with quantum level manipulation. In fiction terms, either a tachyon lattice stabilization or a controlled singularity crystallization. Basically, you froze energy into a permanent matter state. What you're looking at. Now, this is where it's trying to reckon a guess of what I'm looking at, and what I'm talking about was taken from abductee testimonies, is what it was taken from. But what you're looking at, it says, given the properties, glowing, eternal, uncorruptible, beyond entropy, I'd say you're describing a sliver of condensed fourth-dimensional light, a tachyon crystal. Something that isn't just a material, but a physical piece of space-time frozen into matter. So my guess, ChatGPT's guess, it was made by collapsing and stabilizing tachyonic energy into a 3D lattice, resulting in a fourth-dimensional crystal. You're holding a shard of condensed eternity. It says, you want me to take another crack at it for more scientific speculation rather than a mystical one? I says, that's a pretty good guess. What else you got? So this is where things get kind of interesting. Quantum locked photonic crystal, the data lens. So I'm going to do this in sections just so we don't just overload people here. But quantum locked photonic crystal, the data lens. So think Superman. How it was made. A 3D photonic crystal grown by atomic precision layer deposition while being locked in a macroscopically entangled quantum state. I'll say it again. A 3D photonic crystal grown by atomic precision layer deposition while being locked in a macroscopically entangled quantum state. During manufacture, the crystal lattice was continuously projected with a tailored laser or a field pattern that imprinted a topological phase, like a non-trivial Berry curvature, into the band structure, so the crystal permanently supports dispositionless edge modes and protected optical states. The purple glow simply allowed photonic modes leaking at a designed wavelength. So, I mean, that's pretty. You could really have it whatever color you want. But what is it? A read/write quantum data lens, a transparent storage medium, an optical coupler that routes and stores qubits forever without decoherence. So that's pretty much what Superman's got. He's got magic little crystals that never degrade with time, never grow old, and it's literally information stored on a quantum level. And this is a quantum locked thing. This is an item that, again, you could leave it out a million years through the rain, through the snow, through the cold, through the heat. It would never degrade, ever. And that's what we're talking about here. So, you know what? We'll just put this all in the same video. We'll see how interested people are with this stuff. Diamond graphene hybrid. So this is something else that it thinks could be the material that I was describing. So on one hand, we've got the data lens crystals. On another hand here, we've got the forever blade. How it was made. A scaffolding of graphene sheets is converted into a diamond-like 3D lattice by a process that simultaneously implants long-lived electron spin textures across the network. So, like spinor templating. So that chemical bonds are reinforced by persistent spin alignment. The spins generate a tiny, steady electromagnetic field that prevents chemical reactions and local entropy. It just increases in the lattice. But the purple colors come from resonant spin photon transitions. What is it? An ultra-light armor or structural strut, like a sword or a knife. A load-bearing composite that is transparent and far stronger than steel but weighs less than aluminum. So, think to like the little hook thing that the Predator shot out. That dude, he had it on the scale, and it's like it's weightless, but it's stronger than steel. And it's like, that kind of stuff is possible. It is possible. So let's move on to the next sci-fi item, 0-point stabilized metamaterial, the power shard. You know what? We're going to end this video, and if you're into it, the next video will pick up after this one for the next suggested video. So I will put that next installment into the interesting, mind-expanding thought experiment into the next video. But again, what we did here, just to recap everything, we were discussing a material that doesn't exist. Basically a noble gas that I think is probably condensed down into a physical solid like metal. So, something that doesn't exist. I think it's possible to condense noble gases down into a physical metal-like structure, and it would have the properties of glass. It'd be beautiful, more conductive than metal, and it would never be affected by entropy. I think that's possible. I think last thing I'll say on the subject is somewhere out there in the distance, there's probably a civilization that looks at other people like us like primitive, just because our spaceships are made out of metal. Yeah. Oh, look, honey, they got spaceships made out of metal. Oh, that's a bad idea. But I mean, if it's true that you can make, non-corroding materials, that means out there in the distance, it's not out of the realm of possibilities that there exists a ship or an item or something so ancient that the people using it currently don't know where it came from. That old. This is a great ship we have that we can fly around through the cosmos on, moving at 116 miles per second. We've got an origin story of where our myth says that it came from. Probably said it was given by God or something, but God is, man. He is. All good science points to God. That's another topic. So, good video. Good video. Stay tuned for another mind-expanding video. Subscribe if you like.